Ava thought it was just a stupid fight in traffic, until she looked in the mirror and saw 7 black SUVs following her, because the man on that motorcycle had marked her. The black SUV showed up in her rearview mirror the same second the biker raised his middle finger at her. Horns blared on the Brooklyn-Queens Expressway, red brake lights in every lane. Ava Collins hit her palm against the steering wheel. "Are you kidding me?" she shouted. The motorcycle had cut across 2 lanes and forced her to slam on the brakes so hard her seatbelt dug into her chest. The rider slowed in front of her, engine rumbling, helmet turning toward her with lazy arrogance. He tapped the back of his bike with his glove, a mocking little gesture. Ava lowered her window. "You almost hit me." He twisted his body just enough so she could see him. Dark jacket over broad shoulders, black helmet, relaxed posture. "You slammed your brakes first." His voice came through, deep and rough. "Maybe try paying attention." "You cut me off," she fired back. "There's a line. It's called a lane. You stay in it." He laughed once, short and amused. "Relax. Nobody died." "That's your standard? Nobody died? So you get to drive however you want?" "Are you always this dramatic?" he asked. "Or is it just my lucky night?" Her jaw locked. She was late for a client meeting that could decide her job. Her rent was due. Her gas tank was almost empty. And now this. "Trust me, it's not your lucky night," she said. "You're reckless and arrogant. And if there's a scratch on my car, you're paying for it." He lifted his visor halfway. Ava's words stalled. He was unfairly handsome. Strong jaw, dark stubble, full mouth, green eyes that met hers without a hint of apology. His face should have belonged to someone kind. It sat on a man who looked like trouble. "Eyes on the road, sweetheart," he said. "You're staring." "I'm staring at a problem," she snapped. "You think rules don't apply to you." He glanced at her hood, then back at her. For a second, the humor in his eyes cooled while he studied her. "Relax and drive home, Collins," he said. Her spine went stiff. "What did you call me?" The light ahead turned green. Cars behind them honked. He slid the visor down. "Light's green," he said, and with a twist of his wrist, he disappeared between lanes. She sat frozen for 2 beats, pulse pounding. He could have seen her license plate. That was all. Her phone buzzed on the passenger seat. "Jenna, where are you?" "Clients are here. Ava. 5 minutes. It would be at least 20. She swallowed, followed the flow of cars off the expressway and onto city streets toward Brooklyn. She was still replaying the sound of him saying her last name when she saw it. A black SUV, 4 cars behind, glossy paint reflecting streetlights, dark windows, no logo. She forced herself to ignore it. At the next light, she turned right. The SUV turned right. Her shoulders tensed. She checked her mirrors again. A second black SUV rolled onto the street behind the first, steady and unhurried. At the next intersection, she went straight. So did both SUVs. Her chest tightened. She took an unnecessary left onto a side street with closed stores and dark windows. Both SUVs followed. Her fingers slipped on the steering wheel. She wiped her palm on her jeans. Her phone buzzed. She ignored it. She changed lanes. The first SUV matched. So did the second. Fear crawled up her spine. This was not normal. At the next light, the signal turned yellow. She pressed down on the gas and went through just before it switched. The SUVs rolled after her without even pausing. Her hand shot to her phone. She opened the call screen and hovered between 911 and her brother's number. Her brother, Nate Collins, was a detective. He would know what to do. But her thumb shook so badly she couldn't touch either contact. Traffic thickened. As she eased off the gas, the first SUV surged forward and slid into the lane beside her. The second closed in behind her bumper. From a side street ahead, a third SUV turned smoothly and pulled in front of her car. In a blink, she was boxed in. Her compact car sat in the middle of 3 dark vehicles. The light turned red. The SUV in front stopped. The one beside stopped. The one behind stayed so close she could not reverse. Ava's lungs forgot how to work. On the sidewalk, people walked past with shopping bags. Inside other cars, drivers watched, some with phones raised. A door opened on the SUV next to her. A man stepped out. Dark coat, fitted shirt, solid build, short dark hair, careful movements. He walked to her window and knocked once. "Ms. Collins," he said through the glass, "please step out of the car." Her fingers locked around the steering wheel. She shook her head. His expression did not change. He pointed past her shoulder. She turned to look. The driver's door of the front SUV opened. Boots hit the pavement. Black jeans, black leather jacket, helmet in one hand, dark hair slightly messy, shoulders loose. He walked toward her car with the same relaxed control she had seen on the highway. The biker. He stopped at her window. The first man stepped back. He rested one hand on the roof of her car and leaned in a little. "Open the door, Ava," he said. "We're done playing in traffic." Her heart jumped. "How do you know my name?" He lifted one brow. "Open the door." "I'm calling the police." Her voice shook, but she raised her phone anyway. "You can call whoever you want," he said. "But you're getting out of this car." Up close, his presence felt heavier. People on the sidewalk slowed, looked over, then turned away fast because they did not want to be seen staring. She forced herself to meet his eyes. "Who are you?" For a second, there was a hint of surprise in his face. He did not look used to being challenged. Then it vanished. "You'll find out," he said. "Right now you're going to step out, you're going to walk, and you're going to keep your head down." "No." The word came out before she could stop it. The men nearby went still. His jaw flexed. "You have no idea who you're talking to." "I know enough," she said. "You're some guy who thinks he can trap a woman with cars on a public street. That doesn't make you important. It makes you disgusting." Silence hit hard. He studied her, green eyes steady on her face. Then he nodded once as he reached a decision. "Leo Conti," he said. "Remember the name next time you lean out of your window and yell." The name slammed into her. She had heard Conti before. Night news, quick comments Nate would not explain, warnings at the office about certain people and certain blocks. Conti meant power and danger. Her throat went dry. He watched understanding move through her. "Now you get it," he said quietly. "You disrespected the wrong man tonight. I stopped traffic for you. My people watched. My enemies watched. You don't get to walk away and pretend this was nothing." I didn't ask you to stop," she said, voice thin. "I just wanted you to drive like a normal person." "You crossed my line," he said. "That makes you my problem." He motioned toward the SUV behind her. "Get in the car. If you think I'm going anywhere with you, you're insane." "If you don't," he answered, still calm, "someone else will. On another corner. In another car. Without my name attached." Her skin prickled. Lights, stores, people. No one stepping in. He stepped closer. "You go with me, you get home in one piece," he said. "You walk away now, you won't like who follows you next." Fear rose fast. Anger pushed right behind it. "Why should I trust you?" she asked. He leaned in, voice low. "Because if I wanted you gone," he said, "this conversation would be over." Cold slid through her. They stared at each other. Then Ava reached for the lock with a shaking hand and pressed it. The doors clicked. The man beside her opened her door slowly. He did not yank, did not grab. He stepped back and waited. Ava stepped out of the car, legs unsteady, phone clutched in her hand. Up close, Leo Conti was taller than she thought. The city noise stayed loud behind him. "Walk," he said. Every part of her wanted to say no again, but there was a thin, hard line now. Stay alive. She moved. They crossed between the cars. Two of his men followed behind, eyes on the street. She stopped at the open back door of the SUV. "If you hurt me," she said without looking at him, "my brother will find you." "Your brother already tried once," Leo said. The words cut through the panic. She turned. "What does that mean?" "Get in," he said. "We'll talk somewhere better than the middle of an intersection." She climbed in. The leather seat was cold under her legs. She sat stiff, bag on her lap, phone in her hand. Leo got in beside her. Another man took the front passenger seat. The driver pulled away. and her car disappeared in the side mirror as one of his men slid into it. They moved through the city in silence. Streetlights passed. The other SUVs stayed near, a quiet escort. "Where are you taking me?" she asked. "A safer place than where you were," he said. "I was going to work. You were going to get followed into a dark street and shoved into a vehicle that doesn't answer to me," he said. "This is the safer option. You don't get to decide that." He turned his head and looked at her fully. His eyes were steady. "You think you still control anything about tonight?" he asked. "That changed when you rolled your window down and called me reckless in front of a dozen phones." She pressed her lips together and looked back out the window. They crossed the river. The skyline rose in front of them, glass towers lit against the dark. After a few more turns, the SUV descended into an underground garage beneath a tall building. Security cameras watched every angle. A metal gate rolled down after they entered. The SUV stopped in front of a private elevator. The driver got out and opened their door. Leo stepped out first and looked back at her. She stayed in her seat. "I'm not moving until you tell me what you want from me," she said. "Right now?" he replied. "I want you alive." "That's not enough. It's all that matters tonight," he said. "Come on." She slid out, legs weak. The garage was quiet and cold. Two of his men waited near the other SUVs. Two more fell in behind them as Leo walked toward the elevator. Inside, he tapped a code into a small panel. There were no floor numbers. The doors closed, and the elevator began to rise. In the metal reflection, she saw her own wide eyes and flushed face. Next to her, Leo stood still, hands loose at his sides, expression controlled. "You're going to let me go after this," she said. "That depends," he said. "On what?" "On whether letting you walk out draws a target on your back," he said. "If it does, you stay. You can't keep me here." The elevator chimed. The doors slid open. Ava stepped out and stopped.